Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the MCM 2024 London Comic Con. I'm going to showcase a lot of Grail figures here and a lot of scale figures. There's going to be cosplays as well in this video. I'm going to also show you some really cool fan art and anime merchandise. I'll tell you also where to do your best window shopping for anime figures if you're not sure as a beginner. So why don't you come along, enjoy the show, and let's just get started. Okay, let's start with the cosplays. I'm very pleased to have met Nailik. She's one of my favorite cosplayers of all time. She hand makes all her cosplays and she did a really cool Raiden Shogun boss costume 2 years ago and won 3rd place at the MCM cosplay competition. Now before I leave you to her, please check out her Instagram in the YouTube description below. Otherwise, just enjoy the cosplays. Okay, the best figure is definitely this one of Demon Slayer Rengoku, the 5th form by Mega House. This is an amazing figure, lots of really good resin, even the shape of the resin mimics like some sort of dragon. This figure is very expensive to buy, and if you do own it, congratulations, I'm envious. Okay, next to the Rengoku figure is this Blue Eyes White Dragon for £280. Great figure if you have the cash to buy it. It's got these 2 cute Yu-Gi-Oh dolls next to it too. Okay, the next best figures in this convention are these My Hero Academia figures. These 3 ones here are quite big and also quite reasonably priced for their size. I personally think these are a go-to if you're a My Hero Academia fan. There's also more on display from Bandai Namco. This is actually not the first time Bandai Namco has been on a MCM convention, but for me, it's like this year, they actually brought quite a lot of figures on display. Also, none of the figures are beyond £100, which is quite nice, so a lot of them are quite fairly reasonably priced. Obviously not as cheap as Japan if you order it there, but I mean for £30 for a price figure, I don't think it's too bad. So if you're a My Hero Academia fan, why don't you have a look at the collection here. Okay, when people think of Bandai, they think of Gundams, and this section didn't disappoint. This diorama here is sick. Like, this diorama is so good. I am just stunned by the effect of war that they've managed to put into it, and all the debris is so good. I wish I had my macro lens on that day to take more photos of this one. Also, they had this underwater diorama fight between a Zaku and another mobile suit. It's amazing. I love it. This diorama section really is every toy photographer's dream. What's also good about this convention is that they also have a lot of information and science to tell you how to make Gunpla and trying to get people into the hobby. I do like that they explain the grading system between the different Gunpla models and they put it on display for you to see as well. Very friendly to newcomers who want to join this fantastic hobby. If you're a Gundam connoisseur, this is for you. So I recommend for the convention you buy the early pass so you can get that 9 AM 2 hours before other people, as the queue for this section in particular can take 30 minutes. I personally don't collect a lot of Gunpla, so I'm not going to comment too much, but why don't you have a look? After all, there's a big collection, including some perfect grade figures. Okay, next up is Dark Sphere, and this place is rocking out the Gundams just like Bandai, but this time they have the cutest Gundam here, and it is the Hello Kitty Gundam, which I really liked and I really wanted to include it in this video. The shop is pretty cool as well. It boasts quite a large selection of Gunpla, Nendoroids, and some prize figures. I think there's a couple of scale figures in there too. Anyways, if you want to find out more about them, just check out their website. Next up is Japan Craft, and are you new to the hobby? Do you not know what anime figures to buy? Well, this is a great place to do some window shopping first. This place has loads of different anime figures at different price points. They obviously do have expensive Grail figures too, but we'll get into that. Right now, I want to showcase you their collection that they have today. It's a very big collection. Japan Craft is a UK based company in Camden. Do check them out, but let's just get cracking and see what they have on display today. Alright, I didn't expect to see this there, but this is a Proplica Eternal Tiare 1 for Sailor Moon, and this is a rare item. I last saw it in Tamashii Nations in Akihabara. Check out my video if you want to see it in more detail. But yeah, it was quite surprising to see in Japan Craft, and before you know it, someone bought it straight away. Congrats to them on getting this rare item. Right, so let's talk about scale figures, and here we're going to talk about some really cool figures from Japan Craft. Not this creepy Ren figure though, that's kind of just weird. I'm not sure why they made that, but there's some Grail figures here and some really cool figures. Now pricing wise, you got to bear in mind that the price that you pay here, you know, your shipping and your taxes and everything's all done for you, you know, and you don't have to worry about it being broken. What you see is what you get here, so bear that in mind when you're buying from these shops as well. That is a big benefit of buying it here. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with it. I'm quite impressed with the collection that they have here. They've got some older figures too. I've also included some of the images that they have online so they can see what it looks like inside. Okay, next up is a personal favorite from the UK stores. This is Brotherhood Games, and it has a lot of collections, a lot of anime merchandise. I personally like this shop. I bought the Aqua Nendoroid here on the MCM convention. The reason I buy from this shop is basically, it's also where I bought my first scale figure. You see, and I got my Aqua scale figure. This is the first scale figure I ever owned, and I bought it from this shop. The shopkeepers are very nice, they're very friendly, they're very chatty as well. Great place to buy. They also told me that on the first day of the MCM that they had this Albedo figure and it got sold out instantly. It was the second figure that they sold that day. So there is an advantage of coming earlier to these conventions if you're looking for a particular scale figure that you can't find online anymore. Okay, next in line is Scott's Figures, and this is a shop that sold quite a few Genshin Impact figures. I would say that these figures are unofficial because I don't see them on the MiHoYo website, so these ones are not official merchandise. Personally though, I think for this price point they're pretty solid. So make your own judgment here. Would you buy these figures? You know, are you tied into just the official merch? I guess that's up to you, and there's no judgment here really. I think if as long as you like the figurine, so be it. And the prices here are very low too. And to be honest, the quality is not bad for these price points. Okay, next up is Leanne's Anime, and this is another great place to buy anime figures. I entered a raffle to win this Mona and lost to a Yoimiya cosplayer. Great cosplay. I already own this figure anyways, and you can check out my video to see the full review. I personally found there's a really good collection of anime scale figures here, and you can see there's Genshin Impact Lumine here, which I just unboxed in May. And there's some really epic Grail figures here. Look at this Hatsune Miku 15th anniversary version. This is a very big figure to have. Quite a lot of Albedo figures for all your Overlord fans. I didn't see the Shout here, counterpart for this figure though. And also this E-Stream figure of Rimuru, which I last saw in Japan, and it's a great figure to have. Like I saw it with Millium as well. Anyways, this is a great shop to look for scale figures if you're based in the UK. So I'm just going to leave you with it to see what the remaining collection looks like. Okay, the last shop I'm going to mention is Gamersheek, and this is a UK based company that sells quite a lot of Grail figures. It even has the 02 wedding figure by the Good Smile company, as you can see here. You can also check out my YouTube video to see a full review of it. It's an amazing figure, definitely one for the 02 fans. There's a lot of scale figures here on display as well, and there's also a good selection of Hatsune Miku figures, and there's definitely a lot of Hatsune Miku fans like looking for figures in that area. Anyways, this is the last shop I'm going to recommend because the other shops tend to be more suited to buying just prize figures, and it doesn't have a lot of diversity, whereas the shops I've kind of mentioned in this video has a bit of Nendoroid scale figures and other things. Anyways, check out the footage and see what you think. Okay, next up in the Bandai Namco section, we got these Naruto figures, and I really like the one of the middle of Naruto doing his Rasengan. Honestly, I thought they'll charge a bit more than 40-ish pounds. It's actually quite reasonable, given that it's a convention, and the figures at the top actually have pretty cool bases. So what do you think? Is 40 pounds too much? Put a comment below and have a look at the remaining figures. Besides from Rem, I think Hatsune Miku has probably got the most figures on the market, and it doesn't surprise me that Bandai Namco put a little section for her. For those of you who don't know who Hatsune Miku is, she's basically a Vocaloid or a voice synthesizer, and now she's become more like this idol and virtual singer that people use. So if you're a fan, why don't you check out these racing figures of her? Okay, next up is Dragon Ball figurines, and again, it's from Bandai and they're really pushing out all the shonen stuff. I personally think though that they're doing a pretty good job because some of these figures are priced quite low. They're like £20 for a figure, and if you're just new to the hobby, I think it's a great place to start up, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan. So why don't you have a look and see what's on display. The Bandai section of anime figures doesn't really end, just like the One Piece series. Jokes aside, I think Bandai did a pretty good job at displaying a variety of figures to appeal to a lot of One Piece fans. I personally think the price point was kind of varied, like they had some at the £40 range, but the more expensive ones going on to 95 and 115 even. I quite like this Nami figure, not because she's a waifu, but because of the positioning and her accessories, and the stance is really cool. £90 is a bit too high, costs too much money. But you know what doesn't cost any money? Just watching the remaining of this video. So why don't you just enjoy and don't have a bad day like Zoro did here. Okay, this is unrelated to anime figures, but I think it's worth mentioning. This is the Ascension of Karrak. This is an amazing store of fantasy figures. Also had a very good Witcher statue as well. I just want to showcase this, nothing more to say. Check it out, some really cool dragons. Okay, next up, this beautiful 02 canvas artwork. This is from CAnime. This place makes really good canvas artwork. They've been around since 2011. It's a UK-based company. I love their shop and thank you for letting me film there. Have a look at what the artwork that they have on display. Check out their website and don't forget to buy anything if you like it. By the way, I'm not sponsored. This is a genuine opinion of their shop. Okay, next up I got some fan art for Hoyoverse fans. This is Hannah Sachs and Yuenzidan. This is a really good collaboration between the two artists and they make stunning artwork of Hoyoverse games. I personally love the art book that they've made and I went ahead and bought some of these posters that they have so I can hang them on my wall. I love Sparkle, by the way, and Silver Wolf, and I really like this Bronya and Sealy picture. Do check them out. I've linked their X accounts on the description below. Next up is also Chicken Rice, which is also another Hoyoverse fan artist who does really cool posters, canvas art, and also keychains too. AnimeInk do really good posters. I love the artwork that this artist has decided to go with. The quality of the paper is also very good. They do a lot of these mystery bags, so you spend £20 and you get a couple of posters inside. I think it's a really fun way to do it. I got a couple of posters from the last mystery bag I bought from them. My favorite one is definitely the Goku Last Supper one. That's a really cool one, my favorite. Do check them out on the link below. Another piece of art that caught my eye is this metallic poster of Leanne, an awesome poster. Do check out Ben Crafter and his artwork in the link below. Okay folks, thank you for watching to the end and thanks for all the cosplays on the day who let me film them. Let me know if there's any app mentions or links I need to add to the description below just by adding a comment. This is the first anime convention that I had to film on the channel and it's been a great experience, but I did learn some really important lessons. I need to have more than 2 batteries on me for filming 4K videos. I completely ran out of battery towards the end of this show. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with remaining footage of the MCM where I thought there was some cool artworks and other cool shops to visit. As usual, have a great day and have fun collecting. Thank you for watching.